Mo wants to ask Hassam a question. Let's listen to this.
Season, or they level the playing field. Suddenly, a few refereeing decisions here and there are going to tip the balance, and they're going to start to feel differently about these situations. So, look, I think everybody's got to come together on this. But sorry, Mo, you were about to say something.
No, I'm not going to go on a monologue like Hussam and everything. Hussam, I want you to land your point because you didn't land, actually. You just said a bunch of things, which might be true. There might be corruption. There might be bias, as you said. There might be personal preferences, which is something that it happens in football. I don't believe that anyone does this on purpose. I believe it's an unconscious bias because someone hates someone. That happens in every professional sport.
Isn't that still a problem, though? Like, if it is an unconscious bias, is that still a problem? Is that still an issue if it's an unconscious... Okay, you can't really... Like, you can't stop yourself. But how would you fix it? Is there a way of fixing that?
But there's no solution for it. Why do you think, Hussam, there is a bias against a club or two?
I think there is a solution.
By the way, I'm not trying to put you in a corner. I actually keep thinking about it while you're talking.
No, you can't.
Can you stop? Stop. I don't know the answer to this.
Okay, I'll tell you the answer. Look,
yes.
Here's the thing. I think across history, usually the most dominant team will probably get the most decisions gone their way in every league around the planet. Now, what's changed in the last 10 years is the existence of VAR. Now, because there's video assistant referees, you can't get away with the bullshit. You can't get away with you changing your opinions week in, week out. Prime example.
If they're big decisions, if it's something that happens on the pitch in like terms of a throw-in or a little niggly foul in the middle of the pitch, probably not. But if it's a goal potentially, yes, it gets checked. If it's a potential penalty, checked. Red card, checked. Offside, checked. Contentious decision, checked. Big ups, Salez. Big ups. Last season, Jesus clearly handled the ball for an Asna goal. No one mentioned it because they didn't win the title. Man, they only mention things if things do go their way or don't go their way. That's how it works, though, isn't it?
Akanji, last season, it was 0-0. Manchester City against Fulham. I was watching the game. Fulham were in it, blah, blah, blah. Akanji was jumping in front of the Fulham goalkeeper, put his leg out towards the ball, attempted to actually change the direction of the football. He was in an offside position, and the goal was given. Week after, someone is dancing in front of Onana, goal given. Inconsistencies. It was the Crystal Palace game, right?
So is it corruption or inconsistencies?
Wait. So when it comes to this problem that we're addressing, first of all, I said, even if you do have bias, even if you are biased secretly, you must at least create the illusion in the world, in the mind of everyone, that you are unbiased. I, watching a Bournemouth-Ipswich game, must feel that the ref is unbiased. Forget top six. Me watching Reading versus Crystal Palace, I should think that the referee is unbiased, regardless of what he subconsciously thinks. Because I'm not going to go into his heart or his soul and go like, yo, are you unbiased or not? But he must at least create that for the people. And the differences between the managers and us as fans and the refs is the ref can control the outcome of a game. We can't. I can call David Coote every name under the sun. That's not going to affect his decision on the weekend. But if David Coote feels a certain way about a certain Liverpool player or a Liverpool manager, he can affect the outcome of a game negatively. Now, the reason why he wasn't...
Yellow cards, warnings, send them off, all these sorts of things. Or you might just say, you know what? You call me a prick. I didn't take kindly to that. That's why I let them have that tackle on you. Next one, I'll call it. What is it? You know, like people watch The Longest Yard. You know, everyone's watched The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler and all the ex-wrestlers and whatnot. There's a scene in there where the referee is dodgy. He's on the payroll of the jail, and then the inmates, they rough him up a little bit. And he says, okay, you're going to call a fair game now? I guess, yes. Okay, no worries. All right, Wet Willie, and he plays on after that. That's so, yeah, rough him up so they sort of like bring a balance in a way, sort of a thing. And that could happen, and that could affect somebody, because if they're trying to bring balance to it and a player goes in for a tackle and cleans them out, they get an injury, they've affected the game inadvertently then. Then what happens? Refs are so fucking protected they have to have spokespeople speak on their behalf. They can't speak themselves. Well, but this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. That's why you have Howard Webb do his, referees review show, or they get Dermot Gallagher on there or whoever it is, to speak about refereeing decisions from the other day. And it's like, bruv, how about we get the actual referees tell us what happened themselves? But of course they won't, because if the referees speak openly and, shoot straight from the hip, they might say something that the PGM will be like, oh, yeah, no, we can't say that. Why is he saying that? So better you don't have them say anything at all. Just like, so you made a very contentious call in that second half there, when it was a player set through on goal and you decided to only give him a yellow card. What was your decision there? But they can't escape it now. VAR is there. So what happens now? Is VAR going to get involved? So, Mr. Stuart Atwell, VAR official, why did you tell referee to go to the video monitor, blah, blah, blah? Well, I saw this and that and blah, 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 and I thought he should have a look. He had a look and he called the foul. Maybe it might give us a bit of clarity, like why did they go back into it? Creates a bit more red tape, if you will. But it might clear a few things up. But like Savas said, football never used to be this complicated. It was simple. It was a game of 11v11 with a ball in the middle, and the team who can put the ball in the back of the net more times than the other wins the game. That's how simple it was.
We interview Klopp, Maresca, whoever, after a game and go like, yo, why did that happen? Why did that happen? So refs have to do the same thing. And on top of that, introduce a stricter, harsher relegation and promotion system. It's there right now, but it's not implemented as strong as it should be. Meaning, if a referee is affecting significantly negatively the outcome of a football game, or he makes a series of bad decisions, he must be relegated to the Championship or relegated to League One, and bring in the best referee in the Championship to the Premier League so he can have that opportunity to deliver on the big stage. So there is always solutions to all these things. And that's just the truth of the matter. So for me, this just shows that the unconscious bias that we all know deep down existed has been presented in the public eye as evidence.
That said, because of research I did later on today, he says, please find me that genius who can prove bias when there's no videos have come out. Well, I think we've just proven that referees have admitted.
Well, that's pretty much what I've been saying. Well, many people have saying, like, if there's, you can't prove bias without the evidence. Now we have the evidence, so now we can prove the bias. Oh, but you can't actually guarantee that there is bias in that. The fuck I can't. I literally just did. It's there. We can hear it. We can see it. It's in our hands. It's circulating all over the world. We're watching it on our devices. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, news publications, articles, whatever. It's everywhere. We can all see it. So how are you going to tell me that you can't test for bias? And I think it was Egal and Terry had a bit of a biff the other day on stream as well, talking about referees. Oh no, it was LB. Sorry, it wasn't Egal. It was LB. LB, how could you check the bias of the referees? Do checks and balances, see who they support, see where they're from. How do they have a history of going to certain clubs and any connection to that sort of stuff? Because if you're telling me you've got a title deciding match and you're from Manchester, you've supported Manchester United as a youngster, and you still do in a way, but you're a professional, so you don't. And it's Liverpool versus, I don't know, Southampton, for example. It's at Anfield, and if Liverpool get a win, they win the league. Do you really want to be that referee doing that sort of thing there? Because deep down, you're a Manchester United fan. Subconsciously, you're going to say, I'm a United fan. I don't want Liverpool to win. I can't have Liverpool winning this game. And then on the other hand, you're a professional. You're like, well, I have to call it 50-50 down the middle. But then you'll see something and you're like, nah, if I call this foul, it might go in favor of them. They might score a goal. It's just little shit like that. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe I'm making a mountain out of an anthill. But it's just little things like that that keep on going. Again, unfortunate freeze frame on Mo. Sorry, Mo, if you see this. I didn't mean to. But the other thing is as well, where there was a referee, I don't know if it's true or not. Apparently a referee said to Danny Simpson when he was playing for Leicester, he's like, you know what? I should have sent you off, but I didn't because I wanted Leicester to win the league, or I didn't want another club to win the league, something to that effect. And it's like, that's crazy. You're literally doing some mad dodgy shit there. Some would even say it's like, but in a loose way, match fixing. Because if you're not sending a player off, you're supposed to, because you want that team to win the league, win the game. And then if you remove that player, it weakens them, which means the other team might win the game, and you don't want them to. You're pretty much fixing shit in your favor. And then some people go to the extremes of like there's betting and all that sort of stuff as well. I'm not sure. Players get involved in it, yes. If this was South America, maybe I'd be more inclined to believe it because I know with family as well, my brother-in-law, he tells me all sorts of shit in South America on the dodginess and everything else in between. So there are maybe a few ways about it, but it's just crazy to think that referees cannot call a foul on the pitch or whatever it is because they don't want a certain team winning a game because somebody wants to, or someone doesn't want to have another team winning.
He says, yes, Coote was a prick and should be sacked, but bias can't be proven. I actually researched this earlier on today. I spent about an hour of my day researching this
Well
and
done.
came back with a list of ways to prove bias and demonstrate and measure it. And these are some of the methods. By the way, I'm not an expert, so I don't know how to implement this. Equally, I don't know how to build a rocket that can fly to the moon, but I know it exists. So I can comfortably state methods like psychology, economics, social science, analysis, and linguistic methods, so they can study the language used, for instance, in a referee's report for against one team versus another. And nowadays, they can use AI and algorithmics to like run these reports through the.
So the way you speak about someone in a post-match, or probably did, or the way you talk about somebody in general, sort of like sway. Yeah, I can see how that works out. Think about it. Like if there's something you don't like, it's like, oh, what do you think about this team? Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, they're not bad. What about them? Yeah, they're grubs. You're just basically giving it away. Why? They haven't done anything to you. Yeah, but they're grubs. How do you know that? Nah, I just do. It could be one of those things.
Quick things. Number one, there's a difference between unconscious bias and conscious bias. Conscious bias is different because that's something that he consciously said. It wasn't unconscious bias. And the second thing I want to say is, even if you forget the David Coote incident, the worst thing out of this whole thing was a referee telling Danny Simpson that I should have sent you off, but I want Leicester to win the league.
There it is.
If you're a Spurs fan listening to that, how do you feel right now? Maybe you probably could have been robbed of your only Premier League in your life. If you're a Spurs player of that era listening to that, how would you feel? This is why, like, of course, when they were saying it, when Danny Simpson was saying it, he was like laughing and shit, and it was like a funny.
Yeah, of course it's a joke after the fact because they ended up winning the league. But if they didn't and he got sent off, obviously you wouldn't have heard anything about that. But imagine the same referee said, you know what? I didn't want to send you off because I want Leicester to win, but I had to send you off because it is the professional thing and the correct thing to do. That would have been like, cool, man stood on business, man of integrity. But if that is true, if that's what actually happened, and he didn't send them off because he wanted Leicester to win the league, then I think you can consider that match fixing, or at the very least, meddling in a football match.
Jokey thing. But if the people that are affected by it, it's not funny. Like, people laughed at the hand of Rod thing, but me as a Liverpool fan, I didn't find it funny because we lost the league by a point.
I agree. This here says, if you're being cussed out all the time by a manager...
Skullex. Where is Skullex? Where is Skullex when you need him in the chat? Skullex, is he still banned by Martin? How unfortunate.
And they are paid to be professional and have sportsmanship. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, but the thing is, you can just act in that moment and send them off and punish them. What you don't need to do is cheat in the next game to get them back, because that's two wrongs don't make a right. If somebody swears at a ref, show them a red card. The worst one is fans. The fans sung a horrible song about me. Do you know what I'm going to do? The next chance I get, I'm going to make them lose a game. If that's going through a referee's head, and do you know what, my friends?
That's what I was saying before. Where Coote's talking about, I hate going to Everton because their fans always say mean things to me. I hate going to Bournemouth because it's so far away, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if he goes to Everton and they say shit things about him, is he then going to referee against Everton, or is he still going to do his job? You're a referee, brother. Referees don't have it easy. I've seen how referees get treated. I've played park soccer before. I know what it's like. Being a referee, fuck that. No chance. It's like one of the things, you want to be a referee or do you want to be a politician? You're going to get cussed at by both sides of people. So, yeah, pick your poison. Do you want a nice cushy office, or do you want to run around on the pitch and have altercations with people on the pitch? It's an unforgiving job, man. It's not fun. But you're going to be abused. You're going to be taken the piss out of. They are going to do these things. But you can't sit there and say, okay, you want to take the piss? I'll give you something to be angry about. Don't call a few fouls that should go in their favor and see how they react.
Once again, the manager can't affect the ref's life, the ref can affect the manager's life because it can affect the outcome of the game. A manager insulting a referee is not going to affect the referee's life. It's going to go home and life moves on.
All yeah, go ahead. But all I'm hearing, to be honest, is you made two sides here of war: fans and clubs versus referees. And my problem with that, if that happens, right? If that happens, this is the end of the integrity of the game. Me and Osam were talking about this yesterday. I didn't say a word because I was listening to you two. Me and Osam spoke about this.
Mutu got sacked for Chelsea for testing positive for coke. Yeah, for sports players, 100%. I mean, look at all the sports stars that get booted for taking steroids, sort of a thing. Imagine a referee took steroids to enhance their stamina on a pitch so they can be everywhere. Would that be seen as cheating? You're doing it for a positive, but you're doing an illegal action. Taking steroids. You're not competing against anybody. So I'm tired of winning debates. Man's just winning. Leopard in the tree. All that sort of shit, right? But if you're a referee and you're on steroids, for example, to build your stamina, so you have more muscle mass, so you get more oxygen through your body so you can run longer, for example. I think that's how it works. Anyways. And you get busted for it, what happens to you then? Oh, but I did it for a good cause. Okay, fair enough. Off you go then. Take more steroids, run around. No, they're going to say, sorry, man, you've done the wrong thing. You're finished. See you later. In debates, I'm not a leopard. I rate that. Yes, should be clean. Refs or players, 100%. This man here, Bosnich, Aussie legend. I met this bloke once, or maybe twice, if I remember correctly. He's a very odd laugh. Yes, I've met Bosnich before. Bosnich was apparently on the sniff when he was at United. Yes, he's been on the sniff when he has been in Sydney for the last 10 years or so. Believe me. Believe you me. Yeah, can't have refs to take pens. But you get what I'm saying. You get my point here. It's like if they're doing an illegal thing, even though it's for the betterment of the game, they can't be caught doing it. Like the cheating aspect should not be happening at all. Yeah, he's probably, NB, you're in Sydney. If you've seen Bozza, suspicions, highly.
And David yesterday on my show said something about there is bias everywhere. And Hussam explained the conscious and unconscious bias. If there is conscious bias, as you say, Terry, and it's repetitive, that means this whole league and all the titles actually are in question. Every single title, every single relegation, every single team that finished in the Champions League is in question. Every single one since we started having bias. I have a big problem with this because now the Premier League means nothing because every title that City won means nothing. Every title that Man United, because there's a lot of
yeah, it's a good point. If there was bias in every decision made, like David said in the stream the other day with Mo Hussam and Ashraf as well, he said, well, if every referee's got bias, well, that makes it even worse. Even Mo said that makes it worse. But now Mo's sort of adding to that, he's saying, well, if every referee's had bias, then that's affected every single result and every single outcome for the last however many years or decades, in which case everything is not from a match being called down the middle as 50-50 as possible with no bias or as little as bias as possible, impartial calls, objective calls, and there's been some bias between everything, and therefore everything from the past has always been a fix, if you will. Not in a literal sense, but, a referee's made a decision that they shouldn't have because of bias, for example. That makes it, it ruins everything. If that were the case, it ruins everything. Everything is all for nothing.
Liverpool fan, let me finish this, because a lot of Liverpool fans said that there was a conscious bias against their club and Arsenal fans in favor of Alex Ferguson. I don't believe that. I believe it is what Hussam says, the dominant team here and there, like the team that is on the top. If we go down that route, that there is conscious bias, it's a choice, it's done. There's no football because there are no decisions that it's fair here.
Yeah. But where I understand your point. Where I disagree with you is that I don't think you can eliminate bias 100%. And I've never made that claim. But we should be doing everything humanly possible to make the decisions as unbiased as possible. Therefore, as I'm saying, outside help, open up the books, as people would say. Stop making it so closed shop, and only we're going to see it.
Have you ever thought about it? Why do they do that, Terry? Have you ever thought about why?
Well,
it has to be a reason, right? You always ask the why.
So are you suggesting that they know it's corrupt as fuck, biased as fuck, but if that comes out, it ruins football?
I don't believe they know it's corrupt. I believe they're trying to do their job to the best of their knowledge. I genuinely believe that.
So when-
Part of it,
Okay.
part of it is protecting wrong decisions. They know they're humans. I listen to Pierluigi Collina. I listen to
Oh, Pierluigi Collina, what a fucking ledge. Proper fucking ledge. I mean, this man, Pierluigi Collina, holy Pierluigi Collina, bro. Absolute fucking don. Absolute don. Nah, I need a, yeah, we need one of these ones. Is that good quality photo? Nah, shit quality photo. We need one of these ones here. Meet the legendary referee who refused to be corrupted. Pierluigi Collina, I mean, this guy would scare you shitless. He would make a mad Nosferatu if you're doing a Nosferatu movie today, which I think they are. But this guy, proper fucking ledge. Absolute fucking ledge. This is what you need in referees, brother. You need this man back again. This is the go-to, the GOAT. This man looked at you, you ain't fucking around, bro. The most, like, meat-headed of players would look at him, looking at them, tail between their legs, walk away. This is who you need back. Pierluigi Collina. The fucking man. The fucking man. That's who you need.